everyone, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 7 of Mighty Moron with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we sit in 7th. Today we play Platense in the Argentinian second tier, and they are currently sitting in 10th. So this is a good opportunity to get 3 valuable points. Can we do it? Let's find out. So here we are, 7th place. Things have been going very well. We got a couple more wins after the recent game that you and I played together last episode. Then, unfortunately, we did come a cropper against Atlanta 1-0. It was a close run thing, but in the end, they picked up the points, which was a little bit disappointing. Now, did anybody spot the mistake in the last episode? Now, one person did. I'm sure others did as well, but they didn't tell me about it. But one person did, so well done you. But last episode, we played Estudiante, who was sitting in 9th and we were in 8th. But we didn't play Estudiante that was sitting in 9th and we were in 8th. We played Estudiante that was sitting in 3rd and we were in 8th. There are 2 Estudiantes in the division. I kind of knew it, sort of, but got them round the wrong way when we were playing them. And so last episode, we played Estudiante BA Buenos Aires instead of the one that I thought we were playing and built up to play. So actually, our draw against them was a pretty decent result, all things considered, considering they're sitting in 3rd place. So puts a whole new spin on that particular result, which is fantastic. There we go, Estudiante BA. And you can see Estudiante Rio is coming up later in the season. So we do get a chance to play them, but not quite yet. And if we go back into the league table, sorry, wrong button, there we go. And we click up to the next league and go in to have a look at that's not the button I wanted as well. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy at pressing the wrong buttons. But this is the league I wanted. And then in here, we also find Estudiante LP. So there are loads of them around. I found it very confusing. I got the wrong one. Somebody did point that out to me. Well done. If you knew that too, then why didn't you tell me? Dear me. Anyway, we'll get this right as we go. And I am slowly getting my head round Argentinian football. But as I say, things have gone well. We got that draw against Estudiante BA. Then we played Barraca Central and then Nueva Chicago, then Atlanta. 2 wins and a loss. Not terrible. And it means that we currently sit in 7th place in the division, which is far and above what our expectations were for this season. We've got a little bit of a gap now between us and 9th, which is good to see. We've got Mighty on our tail though, so we've got to keep moving forward to keep this 7th position. And today we get Platense, who are sitting in 10th. So let's get into the tactics and see what we've got planned for Platense. So unsurprisingly, we've got pretty much more of the same for Platense as we've been giving to other teams recently. The shape, the formation stays the same. The tactic pretty much stays the same. Although there have been 2 things that I have changed to look at. And they were both suggested in the comments below. So I do listen to you guys. If you've got thoughts, doesn't mean I will definitely change things because I've still got my own way of playing. But if you've got some good thoughts, I will investigate them. So the 2 things that we've changed. One is this role here. I was playing the Carrilero, hoping to move him out wide left, to fill this gap up a little bit. But maybe that wasn't the best role to be doing it. So we've put in the Mezzala because he tends to drift into wide areas as well as part of his role. Obviously, this particular player is playing more central. So we've put in the Mezzala to see if he can close down this sort of space a little bit better. Whether it works or it doesn't, we'll find out. But that's the intention. And the other bit of change is in this page, in the in possession page, and we've dictated the play through the middle of the team a little bit more than we had done previously. We'd left this blank previously and they could go where they wanted, but if we go into our team shape, you can see this is where our players are, so it makes sense to push the ball through that and then we can move it out wide right, etc., or use the left fullback if he's in support up here. There are still options, but it's going to go through the centre of our team a little bit more regularly, hopefully, than it did before. So those are just the two changes that we've made. We've got a couple of injury issues. Avila is going to be out for 3 weeks. He's one of our rotating central midfielders. And Lilo, who is one of our defensive midfielders, he's also going to be out for about 3 weeks. So that's a little unfortunate. We've got several players coming back from knocks and not quite at their total match sharpness. But some of them just have to play anyway because we've still got to put out a team that's balanced. And that's going to basically do it. So hopefully this particular tactic, and we are at... are we away from home today? We're away from home today. Hopefully this tactic can do the job against Platense. So we have Salva in goal. We have Gomez and Corzo in central defence. Brogi at right back. Mayola at left back. Nizo, Kranvita and Good Boy in central midfield, with the Angel and Ramirez supporting Cherry on top. And we have a bench of Stefan, Gozarino, Olivier, Cholki, Bazidas, Villalba and Ackerman. And so that's what we've got. So let's get into the game today and see what happens. So I went with my assistant and just suggested we need to win this one today for the fans who have been supporting us magnificently. Obviously, it's always a bit tricky going away from home, but I hope our attacking intention will see us through, really, to be honest. But it's Platense on the first attack down the left-hand side. Good cross in, but it was a good headed clearance. But Platense pick it back up on the right-hand side. We've set our shape, and they get the ball in. And at the far post from where the cross came in, the knockdown fell very nicely to their attacking player. And he put it in the back of the net. After 5 minutes, we go 1-0 down. It was a good cross in this. Eventually, we closed the ball down, but he shifted it away from himself a little bit. And then they got a little bit lucky, didn't they? Just that little drop down of the ball and then the powerful shot from that left-hand side. And we go 1-0 down very early on. It's time for us to dig in and start creating a few chances of our own, though. Let's see how we get on. But again, it's Platense working the ball very nicely out of midfield down this left-hand side. They cut it right the way to the far side onto the right-hand side. Look for the overlap. We get the shape back in our defence, and again, it doesn't work. And again, they get a headed opportunity, but this time it goes slightly over the top of the bar. And we are looking a little bit out of sorts. That last loss to Atlanta seems to have dented the confidence a little bit. We're holding our own in terms of match stats, but not really in terms of chances created. That was a fantastic point-blank save by the goalkeeper. And can we make the most of the rebound here? Cherry on top gets tackled, though, and it goes out for a throw-in. But what a great point-blank save by Salva in goal for us. He didn't really have too much of a chance to react. He just had to get his body in the way. He managed it really well. But we do go in at 1-0 down at half-time. Now, look at these match stats. We've got 6 shots for them, 4 on target, 2 and 1 for us. We've had a little bit more of the possession, but not much. And it's not going particularly well, is it? So we're going to have to read them the riot act in this half-time team talk. Show me something else in the second half. Put them all straight back out there. There's no reason to change anything just at the moment. And then we'll shout and demand more from them immediately into the second half. Mayola's picked up an injury, so we are going to have to take him out of the action. And we'll put Olivier back in and see if he can perform better today than he has recently. But the game is drifting a little bit. There's not much happening, is there? We're still not creating the chances. So we're going to pause the game there, go into the tactics. We are going to go into the... I did drop it back to attacking. We are going to go very attacking. And then what we're going to do, we are going to take Nizo out and put Ackerman in. Put Ackerman up top with Cherry on top. And we are going to fully play a proper Route 1 type of football. So much more direct. Slow the tempo down just a tad. and then see if we can get an opportunity from playing this way for the last sort of 15 minutes of the game. We've got one more change we can make, and we're going to make it in midfield. And we're going to take Good Boy out and put Chalky in, our youngster. He's progressing well. He's still not the finished article by any stretch, but you can see that there's one or two improvements here and there. For 17, he's still a work in progress. This is one of my Patreons, remember, who got to name their player in my save. So you could do that too. Go and check out my Patreon, the link in the description below. But we'll bring him on for the last few minutes of the game and just see if he can get some more game time and improve his qualities a little bit and get involved in potentially what I hope will be a comeback of some sorts, and we can get one shot at least that we can get an equalising goal from. But again, it's Platense on the ball, and they dropped it. They've dropped it backwards to go forwards again, where they're working nicely down their left-hand side. We're keeping our shape quite well, but so far we haven't got a foot in to win the ball back and counter-attack on them. Hopefully we can still do that, but it doesn't look likely, does it? And then the shot comes in, and the goalkeeper sees it wide of the post, but only very narrowly. And we are still not at the races today. It's not going well enough, but there's a loose ball by their goalkeeper. Ramirez picks it up, goes early into the box. Cherry on top with the ball at his feet, and he makes no mistake, does he? Very nicely done. Brings it down very, very well from that long sweeping ball by Ramirez. I thought for a little minute the defender was going to come in and nick it from him, but he didn't quite manage it. Ramirez running down the right-hand side, stalls on the run, and then puts a long sweeping ball. There's the chance for the defender. He didn't take it. Cherry on top defended the ball very nicely and then puts it into that far post as he looked at it, and we do get our equalising goal, which is fantastic. Can we go and get a winner? Let's see if we can in the last dying seconds of the game. Is there one more chance for us? Doesn't look like it's going to be, and there isn't, but we get a credible 1-1 draw in the end, having been 1-0 down, and that change of structure for the last few minutes paid dividends in the end. But still, it wasn't quite the performance I was looking for. You can see that most of the team were on a 6.7, 6.8, which isn't fantastic, other than Cherry on top, who made the most of that one chance for him. It should keep us in 7th place in the league, and it does. Mitre didn't take advantage of that, which is great to see. So let's go and check out the analysis of the game and see what we can learn. So the first thing to notice is that even though we put the instruction on to play down the middle through our side, it's still got the lowest percentage of play for our team. We went down the right-hand side, 28%, but the left-hand side, 50% of the time, which is interesting, isn't it? Because ultimately, we didn't have an attacking player in this left-hand side. We only had that fullback. So that puts a lot of pressure on him. Maybe we had our Metzala running out to the left-hand side, possibly. But ultimately, that's a surprising statistic, really. You can see their heat map works primarily down the right-hand side. Again, attacking our left-hand side that is lower in numbers. So that's clever from them. You can see that it's a fairly spread out heat map for us, and there are one or two areas where we worked more centrally, but we were working far more left hand side than I thought we were going to. Anyway, that's something to work on as we go through. If we go in and have a look at our shots at goal, it's always the telling statistic for me. You can see that we did have a few that went on target. That's not a bad spread, really, but we failed to put the ball away. Again, you can see that they had several that were on target as well. So both sides had their shooting boots on, but didn't really trouble the goalkeepers as much as maybe they should have. And then finally, we'll go into the passing, and we'll look at the intercepted passes again, take out theirs. And again, I think that's possibly a reduced number than we've seen at some times along the way, but we are still getting intercepted a lot. And then the other one that I like to have a look at, just for my own sense of how good or bad we are doing, is the out of play balls that we've put out ourselves, and I think that has reduced significantly, to be honest, from some that we have seen this season. You can see though, most of these shots were obviously going off target. Let's go and check that out on the shots page here, and we will just take Platense's out, and you can see that, yeah, a lot of our shots sailed over the top of the bar, didn't they? Couple that were down in the left hand side of the post, that's not too bad. And ultimately, it's not as many as you'd want it to be, is it really, for going so direct and being so attacking? So the quality isn't quite there still, but ultimately, I think it wasn't a bad performance today. We got going in the end towards the latter part of the match, and eventually got that equalising goal. We didn't play brilliantly, but ultimately we got a decent enough draw, and we'll take it to move us forward. So let's go and check out what happens next episode. So, just to let you know that the injury to Mayola wasn't that bad at all. He's only going to be out for a day, so that's fine. But what we're going to come back for next episode. Next episode, we finish off the season, the first season in the second tier of Argentinian football. Belgrano are the opponents for us. One last episode for this season. We'll round out and see where we end up. Hopefully, it's in around that 7th mark, which is a phenomenal achievement considering we were supposed to get relegated. You can see that we've been inconsistent this season through form, but that was expected. It's this run of form here that has really helped to cement us in that middle of the table position, which is fantastic. So it gives us something to build this club on and work towards moving from next season. Hopefully we can spend the summer and improve this squad again. But that's for another day. Next episode is Belgrano, but thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button for me if you haven't already on this particular episode and help me get seen by lots of other people. Go check out my Patreon page. Links in the description below to that, plus my merchandise store. Go and check it all out. Let me know what you think. See if there's a position in the Patreon that you'd like to join. But it's entirely up to you. But anyway, that's enough of me blathering on. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.